Hello, and welcome to Lapsit Storytime from the Newburgh Free Library. My name is Sarah Scoggin, and I'm the Early Childhood Librarian. First of all, let me say how much I miss seeing all of the children who normally would come to the library. So welcome to all, but especially to those who I would have seen, especially the littlest because they grow so very fast and change. I'm starting a journal. The recommendation I heard to keep a line a day journal, so one sentence every day, and then after several years, you'll be able to compare what you were doing on April 27th this year, next year, the year after that, and capture all of those moments and milestones. And speaking of milestones, the CDC milestone tracker is available as an app. The Center for Disease Control put out an app, and it shows month by month or every few months the next milestones each child should be meeting to be on track. So if you want to take a look at that on a phone or a laptop, you can download that and then just enter the things that your children are able to do in terms of rolling over and crawling, walking, speaking, interacting, so you can see whether or not there's really a cause for concern, especially if right now you're forced to miss well visits to the doctor. It might help you pinpoint if there is any concern you have about your child's development. So I will put a link to the CDC milestone tracker in the description of this video. But let's get started with our rhymes and songs. Everybody sing hello. Everybody sing hello. Everybody sing hello. Sing, sing hello. Another song that's very well known is Rover Evoque, but there actually are more verses than the one that's commonly sung, and there are also many variations. So I'm going to sing two verses. The second one is a variation. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Ho, 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 you row through the summer heat. Merrily digging and cheerily singing, raising beans and wheat. So during these Lapsit programs, I've been using photo books, and this week's photo book is called Explore the Day. The idea being just to make the day filled with learning and connections.
Explore the Day by Sarah Scoggin. Good morning, I'm your little one. I have so many questions that I wish that I could say. What's the weather out my window? What's the name of the new day? Blueberries for my breakfast? Yum, my favorite, it's clear. What color is my morning juice? How many berries here? Playtime! How tall can I build towers? Will these wooden circles roll? Which is bigger, which is smaller? Hey, this circle has a hole. Now outside! Let me breathe Earth's good free air out where I dig or sing. Now can I pop some bubbles or go swooping in a swing? This laptop tastes just terrible. I had to try a munch. So how about avocado for a squishy, tasty lunch? I love to go, go, go and race. Why must I take a nap? I guess my body needs a rest before another lap. Some art will help my brain to grow, and won't it be such fun? Will yogurt finger paints create a masterpiece when done? Oh, reading makes me happy. Will you read with me? I say. You could really change my future 15 minutes every day. May we have milk for dinner? Will you make us squeaky clean? We're learning during both these things, and also in between. Bedtime. Would you sing to me a lullaby that soothed when you were small? I love you and you love me. There's no question there at all.
Let's do some action rhymes. The first rhyme I want to do is called This is the Way the Ladies Ride. So the ladies are going to trot, and the gentlemen are going to go faster and bigger galloping motions, and the farmers are going to plod along on their horses. This is the way the ladies ride. A trot, a trot, a trot. This is the way the gentlemen ride. A gallop, a gallop, a gallop, a gallop. This is the way the farmers ride. A plod, a plod, a plod, a plod. Another action rhyme is the little clapping mouse. And I will put a link in the card up to the original version that I encountered of this song. You ready? You got your clapping hands ready? Yay! Okay. Now we're going to clap the rhyme. Under the tree, clap, clap. Behind the house, clap, clap. There lived a teeny, clap, clap. Tiny mouse, clap, clap. She loved to sing, clap, clap. She loved to tap, clap, clap. Most of all, clap, clap. She loved to clap. She clapped all night. She clapped all day. She clapped to frighten the cat away. Clap, 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 clap. Okay. Yeah. Under the tree, behind the house, there lived a teeny, tiny mouse. She loved to sing. She loved to tap. But most of all, she loved to clap. She clapped all night. She clapped all day. She clapped to frighten the cat away. Clap, 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 clap. Another song is Do You Know the Muffin Man, a classic nursery rhyme that makes a good bouncing rhyme. And here we have our muffin. Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane? Yes, I know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane. Yay. I've used several nursery rhymes so far, and you may be familiar with a number of them, but I find it's easy to fall into singing the same few over and over and over again. So if you would like to refresh your store of nursery rhymes, learn some new ones, I have a couple of sources. One of them is nurseryrhymes.org, and the other is Mama Lisa's World. There's a lot of multicultural rhymes, sometimes actually quite often available in other languages from the original languages the rhymes came from. So I will put a link to both of those down in the description. I encourage you to take a look. One rhyme that you may not know is called Dr. Foster, and it goes like this, maybe. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester, all in a shower of rain. You could tickle if you want. He stepped in a puddle up to his middle, woo, and never went there again. And Dr. Foster is a perfect example of a rhyme that you could use in context, as it were. So if it's raining outside, you could pause. You don't even have to do the bouncing if you're in the midst of things, but you just say, oh, it's raining outside. Dr. Foster went to Gloucester, all in a shower of rain. He stepped in a puddle up to his middle and never went there again. So you've connected the words, the rhymes, the literature to the real world. And that is one of the best ways to really make it stick, as it were, to connect babies to language, is to use it in context and repeat it. Whenever it rains, you could say that, or you could say another rhyme like, let's watch the raindrops as they pour. 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4. Or rain on the green grass, rain on the tree. Rain on the housetop, but not on me. Rain on the green crops, rain on the sea. rain on the gray rocks, but not on me. If it were windy outside, you could say something about a windy day. Or you could even say a poem. Christina Rossetti wrote a beautiful poem, Who Has Seen the Wind? And you could, if you have the child with you, you could even go blowing and say, oh, the wind is blowing. Who has seen the wind? Neither I nor you. But when the leaves hang trembling, the wind is passing through. Who has seen the wind? Neither you nor I. But when the trees bow down their heads, the wind is passing by. Um, So I actually first encountered this idea of creating an environment of literacy long before I became a librarian in a book called The Bequest of Wings by Annis Duff. And I believe it's still just as relevant today as it was when it was first published in 1944. So this is the story of one family's love of books, encounter with books, and with rhymes, poems, language, culture in general. And so the author, Annis Duff, made it her goal to surround her children with this kind of rich language. And you can read about how well that worked, the results of that in that biography, as it were. Um, and so I was really intrigued by that idea. And so when I became a librarian, I decided I really wanted to incorporate that into all the things I do with young children, try to make an environment of literacy. I will put a link also, more information about that book and how you can read it online down in the description. Another way you could incorporate rhymes and words into your day is a song called The Baby's in My Arms, and it goes to the tune of The Farmer in the Dell. The baby's in my arms, the baby's in my arms, I love you every day, the baby's in my arms. You could give the baby kisses and hugs, and then when you're changing the baby's diaper, you could sing as you do it. I'll make you cozy clean. I'll make you cozy clean. I'll make your diaper nice and new. I'll make you cozy clean. And then when you're giving the baby some milk or some food, you could sing something like, let's have some yummy milk. Let's have some yummy milk. The yummy milk will make you strong. Let's have some yummy milk. And you could just invent your own verses for anything you're doing throughout your day. You're playing or reading, anything that's a part of your day. And I think it makes things a little more enjoyable for the adults as well. The whole day could seem like one song and we're just singing it throughout the day. Finally, I want to end with some activities that you could try at home. One of them is one that was called Baby Chemists. It's really just mixing water or pouring water, really, but you could give the baby different size containers, the Tupperware, and so in an empty bathtub, you could then get a little basin of water so the baby could scoop. And then as the baby is scooping, exploring, you could show the baby how to pour. You could be saying like, this cup holds twice as much as this one, or this is 2 times bigger, or even just this cup is bigger than this cup, or this cup holds more water. When you're doing something, even a simple activity like this, it's just an opportunity, an excuse to use more words. So you could say pour, splash, drip, just whatever words you can think of to go along with pouring water, and the babies will love it. You could do it in the bath itself if the babies are old enough to sit up in the bath themselves. Another one is called Super Sorter, and you could have the babies sort socks. So big and small. If you had different colors, you could do black and white or dark and light. You could say mommy sock, baby sock. Any way that you can think of to distinguish the two, you could say it as you're doing it, and as the toddlers get older, then they'll be able to separate out socks by at least one characteristic. As they get older, that's actually a milestone, is that they can separate things by two characteristics. So things that are big and black socks, big and white, or small and pink. So those two activities, the pouring vocabulary and the super sorter, I will link to where I got those activities down in the description. There's an activity that I kind of stumbled upon with my own daughter. We had a little ball, a little light plastic ball, and she was kind of tossing it or rolling it, and I have this puppet, this cat puppet. So she rolled the ball, and I had the cat puppet say, "Oh, I'm going to pounce," and had the cat puppet jump on the ball, and that created a lot of giggles and requests more and more and more for about 20 more times. But it was worth it to see her. She was waiting for the cat to pounce, and then the next day she said pounce. So I didn't intend to even teach her that word, but because it's just linked with something that she enjoyed, I think that helped to cement that new word in her mind. So any activity you do, you can use a word that you wouldn't normally use, like pounce. It could be a skip, or you have a toy snake, you could say slither. So in short, you can use lots of verb words besides the simple ones. You don't just have to say walk. You could say stroll if you're taking a stroll in front of your house or something like that. And if it's a fun thing, that word will likely stick. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.